Hello students, welcome to Neet with SATHYA ma'am. We were discussing the strategies for preparation. Today in this session, let us see how to handle the exam hall. That is exam hall strategy, okay, for your UG NEET exams. Three important things that you have to consider in this case. One is the order of writing the exams. Second one is the consistency in for the 3.5 hours you should have to write your exams well. Third important thing is the mistakes that you should avoid in attempting the questions. Okay, so these three are the most important thing. Order in the sense the order of attempting the subjects. So now you are doing your mock exams for 3 or 20 minutes or 3 hours. So when you are doing your mock exams, you would attend the subjects based on your interest. Okay, so now whatever order you are planning to attend for the final exam, take the same order in the mock test. Okay, why train in that way is that will help you to be comfortable on the final day of exam. Okay, for example, you are good at physics, start with physics, then chemistry, then biology. If you are good at handling biology, then start with bio. Most of the students start with bio, answering bio questions. Okay, so some of you would have problem with your timing. Okay, so how to have the right approach for all, handling the time for all three subjects equally, and how should you maintain a good mood in the exam hall. So this comes with your practice. Okay, start with your biology. Have the first subject biology. You have the 360 marks for bio. Botany, zoology together you should attend 45 questions. Okay, so take 1 hour or 1 hour 15 minutes. It depends on the length of the question paper. Length in the sense, if you have more assertion, reasoning or statement questions, you will take some time to go through the questions. So you may spend some 1 hour 15 minutes for biology. Okay, then come to the second subject. It may be physics or chemistry. Spend 45 minutes first round for answering the second subject. Okay, for example, you are attempting chemistry, spend 45 minutes answering the easy questions. Okay, then go to the third subjects. Now you will complete 2 hours. After completion of 2 hours, you should enter the third subject. Okay, answering the third subject. Because if you spend more time on first two subjects, you will not be able to spend the right time for the third subject. So you may have the third subjects easy, but if you are not spending the right time, you will miss your marks. You will lose your competitiveness. Okay, so to avoid this thing, after completing 2 hours, visit the third subject, spend 45 minutes answering physics. After completing 2 or 45 minutes, you will have 20 to 30 minutes at your disposal. Now revisit the questions that were lengthy. Still you know the questions, but that were lengthy, you can revisit those questions and then answer those questions. Okay, so if this will help you to this order of having a proper order of answering the questions will help you to be prepared for the exam hall. Okay, do the same way in the mock test. Second thing is, this will help you to save time. If you are already doing in a right approach and you want to do the same way in the exam, final exam, continue to do the same in the mock test. Okay, so however, whatever method suits you, do that. Okay, don't go with what your friend is doing. That is not the right approach. Okay, and don't go with what most of the students are doing. Whatever makes you to complete the exams on time and that helps you to do the answer the questions without much mistakes, continue to do the same method. Okay, and do that in the mock test also. Second is, you should have the proper mood of answering the question. That is, you should be happy when you are answering the NEET exams. You should not have any pre-thoughts. Okay, don't jump into any conclusion that NEET exam is so easy, so difficult, nothing. Okay, don't make any such pre-assumptions in the exam hall. Just see the questions, answer the questions in your shade the OMR sheets properly. And when you are shading the OMR sheets, shade it right, that you are not doing over shading. That is, you have 2 sheets of OMR sheets. So don't do over shading and don't do under shading also. Do the shading properly so that you don't have any problem in OMR shading. Okay, and how can you have the consistency of approaching all 3 subjects with the right spirit is Take 2 rounds of answering. Answer the easy questions first and revisit all the 3 subjects again for the second round, so that you have consistency of your mood in answering the whole exam. Okay, and don't have any pre-assumed thoughts about the question paper. Okay, so don't jump into any conclusions. Second thing, the third important thing is, first is order of writing exam, second is time and consistency in your mood or the approach of the exam. Third important thing is avoiding mistakes. Okay, so there are some careless mistakes you tend to do. Why do you do careless mistake? Is you know the answer, you have calculated it right or you understood it right, but still when shading you did a mistake. Okay, don't do such shading mistakes, because every single negative mark will pull down your ranks. There are 4 tiebreakers with negative marking this year. I have already hosted video about it. Okay, so don't do much careless mistakes when shading. So this you can overcome by doing continuous practice of shading right. Okay, have OMR sheets, practice shading so that you don't do shading mistakes. Second is, on seeing the questions, you are doing a lot of mock tests, so you may know a lot of questions because you have good exposure at this point of time. So there are some NCERT questions, previous year questions you would have got trained, and you may get a similar question. So what you do is, seeing the question, you are not going through the question completely. Instead, on seeing it, immediately you tend to shade the questions. Okay, shade the answer for the questions. So what problem you have is, towards the end of question there may be a small change, okay, which you might have missed it. So don't do this mistake. Even though you know the question, read the question completely and see all 4 options and then shade. Okay, this is very, very important. And another thing that you tend to do is, where you don't shade the question till all the answers till the end of 3 hours, and you start shading after completing all the subjects. That will make you to mess up shading. Okay, so try to shade as and when possible. So for example, you can shade after completion of every subject or after completion of every page. Okay, so this will help you to save time, at the same time not to have any mistakes when you have all 3 subjects to be shaded towards the end. Okay, so these are some important things that you should follow in the exam hall. And some students, what they do, they attempt section A without any problem. They have 35 must do questions. If they don't know, they leave the question. That's okay. And when it comes to section B, you have a choice of selecting 10 questions out of 15. Here, there are different ways you can do. One is, have a glimpse of all 15 questions, select the 10 that you know well and attempt it. Okay, fine. This method is fine. Some students spend a lot of time reading every question and then decide. So don't do that, because you may have problem of handling time if you do that way. Okay, so don't read every question so elaborately. Other type is, some students start attempting from the first question. If they know well, just they do it. Don't read, they are not reading all 15 questions. That's also fine. Okay, you do the first 10 questions, whichever you know. That is also fine. Okay, so whichever method saves you the time, makes you to score all 10 questions right with the choice given in section B, you can follow that method. But only thing is, whichever method you are going to adopt for the final exam, start doing it from the mock test, so that final exam will be fearless and it will be one of the exams that you have already faced. Okay, so don't have fear. That will help you, that will not help you at any point of time to face the exam. Be bold. You are prepared. You are doing mock exams. Do a similar exam on the final day of NEET, so that you will be successful. All the best.